Thank you, Jenna. We will look forward to that at the top of the hour. In the meantime, House Democrats deciding that they want to keep Nancy Pelosi as their leader, despite historic congressional losses on Election Day. The new House Majority Leader Eric Cantor says that that is a tone-deaf move by Democrats. Here's what he had to say.
Democratic members in the House elect Nancy Pelosi as their leader. It's almost as if they just didn't get the message from the voters this election. I mean, the voters outright rejected the agenda that she's been about.
There you have it. Richard Socarides is a former special assistant to President Bill Clinton, and he joins me now. Richard, good morning. Good to have you here today. He says you guys don't get it. You don't get what the election was all about. What do you say?
Well, I think the Democrats, and specifically the Democrats in the House, are still absorbing what happened. And there was one
They're still absorbing it?
They're still absorbing it. It takes
several weeks later?
Was a big impact. It takes a long time to absorb.
Oh, my gosh. What happened,
Well,
right?
I think the Republicans are still absorbing it, too. I mean, I think that people are trying to get used to the new reality and trying to figure out how to deal with each other. There was one thing she said that concerned me. You know, when they asked her, why was she running? Why did she think she deserved to be reelected? She said, well, because I got health care through. Well, that's definitely the wrong message. I mean, that's definitely not what I would say.
I believe that's what she believes, because that's what she tells us over and over. She thinks that that was a huge victory and something that will go down as her legacy.
Yeah, but I don't think that's why she should have been reelected. I don't think that's why people voted for her. I think I think her caucus voted for her for reasons that are really not visible necessarily to the average person. I mean, I think they like that she stands up to Obama. I think the math works in her favor. She's from California. There are more members of Congress from California.
She pushed through every piece of legislation he wanted.
Well, she did.
When did she stand up to him?
She stands up to him in private, and she stands up for the House Democrats against him when they don't think she's doing enough. I mean, the House Democrats believe that the reason they took such a shellacking, as President Obama said, was because the White House didn't do a good enough job at packaging and communicating about their successes. But they also like her because she's effective, because when they make a plan, she gets the votes through, and that's what you want the most of all in a leader. They also voted for her because there's kind of nobody else. I mean, if you look around, there's nobody else who could come in and really take over. And as we know, it's very hard to beat anybody with nobody. But I think what she really needs now to do is take a serious look at the way, people perceive her. She needs a rebranding. If I worked for her and I worked there, I would say, look, you've got to totally reintroduce yourself and the Democrats.
You really think Nancy Pelosi is capable of that?
Yes,
I mean, at this stage in her life, and at this, she's a remarkable woman. It's historic that she's the first female Speaker of the House. But she comes across as having, as really buying into everything that she pushed for, which included a tremendous amount of new spending, and not necessarily being on board with where the American people appear to be as after this election, which is cutting spending and cutting the deficit. Those were the two big takeaway messages from this election.
I think she's totally capable of it. I think she is a great politician, and I think that she understands, or she will come to understand.
You think she's going to move to where she needs to be?
I totally think she's going to move. But I think what it is a lot of it is atmospheric. She needs to remind people in ways big but also in ways small, that the Democrats are there because they're the party that wants to help people. I mean, we as Democrats, that's what we're for. We think
that's the big issue. How do you effectively help people?
We think the Republicans are there to make money and the Democrats are there to help people, and that's what she needs to remind people of.
That's the old line. That line is so old. Richard, thank you very much. Richard Socarides. Next time we'll talk a little bit about 2012 presidential politics when you come back, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Looking forward to that.
Plenty on that.